Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine golden land. No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows. Feed a big cheese on your block with a wheel.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, make it quick. You're not the only fan who wants some of my time. What do you mean, not familiar? You expect me to believe you've never heard of Alistair the Almighty? Why, I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the distance. Although, it'd be worth checking the other side too, just in case. And don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous Five to boot. Surely you already know we've been voted the most influential adventurers guild by SideQuest Monthly, 3 years running. Your interest is piqued, I see. I'd suggest you have a chat with Mendius outside. He's in charge of recruitment and other such drudgery. A word of warning, though, we only accept the best and the brightest. By the looks of you, I'm not sure you'll make the cut. Those nasty beasts are hardly worth my time, though I suppose I'll step in if none of the recruits manage to prove adept enough to handle a few skeletons.
Pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you'd be so kind. How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Let me answer by saying that who I am is hardly any of your business, and anyone with an ounce of tact would have known that already. Can I tell you? I suppose I can, and I could. Why would I turn my attention away from this whiskey when Mendius right outside is simply panting with excitement about the whole affair?
Zimbladorix! That! Ha! Quite under my spell, aren't you? Yes, my enfriending charm never fails. Me? You mean you don't recognize me? Well, you must live under a very large, very heavy rock, for I'm the finest wizard in Rivellon. Yes, that is strange. Strange indeed. But it's a strange world we live in, isn't it? A strange and magical world, full of wonders and regionis regentum. Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out indeed, if I'm as good as they say I am. You'll have sprouted a pair of long purple ears in the next hour. Ah, how I do love a tasty aubergine in summertime.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
A source hunter! I'd like to report some dark magic. Only tainted hearts could tip as miserably as this lot. Been at the King Crab nearly 10 years now, personally. Seen every character you can imagine, from bums to wizards, passed through these doors for a pint and a place to rest. I think I'm one of the last folks to hear him alive. That awful scream's been ringing in my ears ever since. And with the room where it all happened still under quarantine, we've a constant reminder of exactly what happened. Though that's the question, isn't it? What exactly did happen? We all thought it was Esmeralda who checked into that room, and the Duke that followed her in. I was washing up and nudging the last of the lushes out of the door when a cloaked woman rushed in right past me. I never got a good look at her, damn my eyes, but I figured the way she disappeared that she was visiting one of the lodgers. Lucky for the perpetrators, I was rinsing bottles in the back when the terrible deed took place and saw nothing more. I'm not proud to say I ducked under the counter and damn well stayed there till I heard Ivad fling that door open, but I was paralysed with fright.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you meant to
Greetings, traveller, and may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. Tell me, have you yet heard the revelation? What's in a name, dear friend? For we all begin equal in the Conduit's eyes, and only through great deeds may enter into her inner ring. You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the goddess's salvation with one who has, as yet, been lost. Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth. The conduit, our link to the goddess herself, has given us a special gift, and the gift is thus. By following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way, we can each of us live on for a span greater than the number of stars that twinkle within the goddess's right eye. She came from on high to we mortals and showed us the path to the goddess, where all living souls are naturally inclined. She showed us that injury and malady need not mark the end of life, but that through her methods we could ascend to greater life in service of the goddess. Ah, for this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. Go north, friend, through the forest and into the town of Silverglen, where all may be revealed. There, among her followers and friends, dwells the goddess's ecstasy, her one way. Go on the path to the righteous, my friend. Forget not that the conduit has great plans for you.
He says he's an immaculate. But I thought they'd been banished after the death of the Source King.
Immaculate? Haven't heard of their kind, but I don't like the sound of them.
Glorious to see you once more, fair friend. I hope you've given some thought to my revelation. She showed us that you mean steal you by following her instructions. Ah, for this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. There, among what's it? Go on the...
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lying in your pocket.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom.
Hearty welcome to the King Crab Inn, and a pleasure to have you. You look like you could use a round or three, so what'll it be? Have a seat and stay a while. The name's Ivad. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I've been offering the weary travellers of Sicil drink and rest for nearly 2 decades now, but the King Crab's older than that by a long shot. All you see before you is the manifestation of my great-grandpappy Horatius Dungeness's noble vision. beer and naps for everyone. No questions asked. Well, between you and me, things have been rather slow since the, incident. But with spirits high and liquor flowing like it is tonight, it seems that Crab may just come out of that pinch. Psst. Mind if we keep our voices down over that sensitive subject? Death and dark magic ain't exactly great for business, you know. That room where it happened, it was rented to a certain woman, though I regret to say I can't say exactly who. This inn isn't in the business of asking many questions, if you know what I mean. She came heavily cloaked, but paid the full sum in advance. I was used to such transactions after many similar concerning a certain Esmeralda. Figured this were just more at same. I saw one other figure go into the room that night. Someone tall, built broad like a man, but shrouded the same as she. Again, standard practice for Mrs. Counsellor and her visitors. I was startled awake by a horrendous hubbub shortly after midnight. I jumped up and grabbed me grandpappy's machete, bleary-eyed and awash in fright. By the time I burst into that room, it was horribly silent. There was only Jake on the floor, dead, surrounded by what may as well have been a battlefield. Whoever done it has escaped through the window, but I saw nary a soul when I looked out. You can bet I hightailed it to the Legion barracks faster than a jackrabbit after that. Councillor Jake, that poor man. I knew too much about his affairs, you know. Never figured it my business to say anything, but after all that's happened, I wonder if that weren't a grave mistake. Esmeralda's longest-standing lover has the audacity to remain lodged at this very inn, you know. He's called the Duke of Ferrol, a high title for a low man. If you haven't yet asked him about Esmeralda, I'd recommend it. 3 hopeless sailors. Truly wish I could help you, but I'm barely keeping afloat as it is.
The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Careful now. Swollen saffrons, I dare say.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to... Yes, she and I. As easy as it would be to... Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each... Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the Northern Cave?
Do I seem like the sort of concern?
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval. Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the Captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the town's finest magical murder scene. Enjoy.
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible! It will consume us all! By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? 2 Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious! Oh, yes. Proper introductions. Zigzax the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was and is and, hopefully, all that is to be. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3. How you got here, though, that's a rather more interesting question. On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. At last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened. Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
I think that imp may be quite mad.
Then we had better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
You saw? Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal! It's... The portal has become active! Fantastic! Astounding! Onward we should go!
I was really hoping to find something better. More junk.
It's quite sprung to life, just like the long, dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be? You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away. Those torches, alight! This portal active once more! It cannot be coincidence. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well. It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very portal would ignite. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one. Though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain. After you, after you. Oh, what wonders we may find on the other side. You first, but don't dilly-dally.
And he's off.
It seems the Emperor spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
The last chest, the last chest! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each, you'll discover how to open me!
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time? Mother of history? Author of all that has ever been?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane? A stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well. Is that so? Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see. But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters, it would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are. Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret, a secret lost even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes, though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the Void's insatiable hunger.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the Void. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones? Will you help us restore what has been lost? So, what do you think, Source Hunter?
Not but a moment ago we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
Come, I got something for you.
Still, it's quite a leap from finding a strange stone to placing the world's salvation on our shoulders.
So, what do you think, Source Hunter? So, what do you think, Source Hunter? So, what do you think, Source Hunter? Come, I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge. The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old Rivellon. Not just yet. No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are and how exactly to send the Void back to wherever it came from. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows what the Weaver might discover about you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, you know, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust these days. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so, perhaps she knows why.
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot! Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, such a booklet does not exist. Just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history, both in my writings and on the tapestry of time. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are therefore most likely to be found in the ancient places of this world. Ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed, and consult with my agent. Neither do I. but the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that it and the Void Dragon are natural enemies. This in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. It is both history and future history. It is all of time. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the Void. Now, isn't that a lovely mission? Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one skewers me with a sword, and even then I'll be back in a jiffy. But of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how much stress that void out there is causing me. The end of time. I'll be out of a job. So, gather those Starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice, but do better and close the dark eye of the void forever. Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore. Lonesome, being privy to all that has been and all that is. Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of company now and then. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the Sons of Sigurd. The last Rivellonian who remembers it died more than 7,000 years ago. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, there will be someone waiting for you. My agent, my eyes and ears upon your world. I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need hardly remind you, is of the essence. The Lady of Time, the Weaver of History. I am your biggest fan, dear lady. Could I get your autograph?
It shall be my pleasure, Sir If. I'll embroider it in the first volume of your all-encompassing chronicles. How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem. In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts and spectral apparitions. The drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every raindrop on every world, the all but imperceptible touch of lovers' hands. This and all I chronicle without fault. Except, it seems, you. Ask and I shall answer, if I can. I am the weaver of time, as I have told you, though my existence is one that falls behind and yet far exceeds the verb to be. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Chroniclers both are we of the epics of eternity. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Why have they done so? I do not know. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Or maybe it is you. You who makes dying stars rekindle. Time alone will tell. Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and Starstone remain the imperfections upon the tapestry. As yet. A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link between you and the stones reveals that your destinies are intertwined. I believe that starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads of old. Oh, Hunter, I have no need for company. Like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. All I need, and all I am, is time. And time is running out, unless you remedy its decline. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship, for you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed. What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the starstones will tell us. What it is but the end. What it could be is the end of ends. I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event I no longer held possible. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here, at the end of time, and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own creations. But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, children of stars, they place new ribbons along my fingers like phantoms out of time. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And because you give Starstone energy, It seems that you are creating time. These star stones, please seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives and all that loves, seek them so that the void may yet devour itself alone.
I wonder, do you know more about the void? What it is? What lies at the heart of it?
What lies at its heart? Why, nothing, of course. The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time.
A question has me stumped, milady. Why are there two of us? Two beings that record all of history parallel to one another.
Decent dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boots. Well, you've got my attention, comrade.
The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have... I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone. And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer's spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must somehow be interconnected. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into his house and had a look around. The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even rewards you with a slice of fresh herring. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket so snug it becomes, in a word, safety. But perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they rest upon home. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, save it all too seldomly. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. It is void. It is death. It is nothing. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stars. But I do know I'd rather err on the side of caution. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I lays beside the hearths of home. I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert, then shared what little food and water he had with him. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed and marveled and told me stories about his travels. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me, the unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened, but swore to help him in any way I could. As of now, that includes helping the two of you. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me to give to you. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to say hello.
Unknown to all time, are you? Leave it to an imp to try to fill our minds with all manner of magical gobbledygook. I'll tell you who you are. Source hunters, members of the most esteemed order in Rivellon. Here to find out and grind out every last speck of dark magic in the realm. There, the enigma is solved.
Run away?
What are you? You think I'm... No, comrade. You can keep the honor of being the object of the Space Im's special interest all to yourself. I just hope this fancy of yours doesn't interfere with your real job, or have you forgotten that little detail already? You're a source hunter first, last, and always, comrade.
Did it swell legs and run away? Now, where is my camera? Did it sprout legs and run away?
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's growing more swollen than saffron.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hit...
Looking good. Shut tight. Shut tight.
Sightseal, now that's a sad story. Elegant homes burned for fuel. Oaken cupboards emptied, and ladies dragging the dregs of their great skirts to bargain for fish bones.
About time the council took notice of us. You here for the bone rattlers or the club wavers?
Greetings, greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Customers rarely find me up here, but I do so abhor the hustle and bustle of the marketplace. That I am. I have spent more of my life on the road travelling alongside great caravans than I have in any given place in Rivellon. All of this earth is my home, for a few days or even but a few hours at a time, that is. You wouldn't believe some of the things I have seen. Oh yes, a city besieged by the dead isn't even remotely special to me. All the better that it isn't. For you and for me, because outlandish events lead to outlandish wares. Oh, but let us not discuss. Let us browse and barter. How gratifying to see you return. You have seen them, have you not? Is anything amiss? A punch-on, perhaps? Yes. I have the blood of sorcerers in my veins, and between you and me, the blood of sorcerers too. The power of sorcery is so very alluring, you know. But let us change topics, for should hunters catch a whiff of my inclinations, they wouldn't hesitate to kill me where I stand.
You'd be derelict in your duties. Sorcery is like an incurable disease. If it's in her blood, all we can do is put her down. She dies, you hear? Or do I need to brand you a traitor?
No. We'll do as I say, and there's an end to it.
Gods have mercy. I talked openly about sorcery in front of a source hunter. What a fool I am. Thank you, O compassionate soul that you are, to treat me so leniently. I never have and never will really dabble in sorcery. On that you have my word. On my life, I swear it. No need to worry, source hunter dearest. You'll find no sorcery here, only honest-to-God's witchcraft. How gratifying to see you return. You are quickly becoming my favorite customer. That I am. I have spent more of my life... You wouldn't believe some of the things I have seen. Oh yes, a city besieged by the dead isn't even...
Leave me be, I have a job to do.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
How? The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
No, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than Saffron's, I dare say. is privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
What are ye staring at? Some poor chaps lost their ship and want some work? Just send them to me, and tell them there's a bit of coin and a lot of rum coming their way if they don't mind a bit of honest labour.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Good day to you.
Let us see if you can...
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tarred eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapours?
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Made a big change on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows. Let us see if you can choose the finest greens. No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Not in the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more home than a slice of this pie.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Well, hello there.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Not in the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more home than a slice of this pie.
Let's see. Carrot, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Carrot, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Sauce hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is, if you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more home than the slice of this pie. Almond.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Made a big change on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
good day to you.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Feed a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
On the move for cheese. That excuses more holes than a slice of this fine almond bag.
Let us see if you can choose the finest green.
My gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you? A magical pyramid, eh? Frivolous and lecherous magic, more like. Leave my house, afore the divines punish you for your aberrant ways. No, if you please. This room is private. If she soaks in flower stink much longer, dear will smell this lady from a field away.
Just stand there.
I'll save a leg of something good for when she begins to starve.
All right, comrades, nothing to see here. You're out. Give the lady of the house a little privacy.
Excuses more holes than a slice of this fine almond bag.
Red and orange, yellow.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
No, it ain't. You drove it straight to the bubble bank.
Oh, nothing new, sir. And don't forget the time you got it all passing along. No.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything. Really? So there's a captain offering booze and brass for a bit of crate loading. Gods be praised. You've done it, friend. Off we go.
And don't forget the time you got it all passing along.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my hands.
Are you the captain who's looking for some fresh blood for your crew?
Quite down the market, it seems.
You boys willing to earn your day's pay?
Yes, Captain.
Ho-ho! Let's get to it, then!
Potions to be muscle, scrolls to interpret. Get it while it's fresh. These batches are made hours of the
Can't thank you enough for your help.
Moyle dashed and restored, one right after the other.
It's good to be employed.
My hope dashed and restored.
By every blowfish in the blue, these are some scallywags.
Hey, a nickel.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my hands.
Striking it rich!
More junk.
Thank heavens. Maybe now you can learn something useful, like how to wash your underthings.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
It's easy enough to gain new strength when one is carrying an entire team on one's shoulders.
Have no fear, my friend.
Wool? And what do I get in return?
Don't.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves. But, no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Yeah? Me? Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. Perhaps I can jog your memory. It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst, a simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Sicile of late. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share with her own master. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silverglen to learn the truth myself. Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by mere men.
A mysterious healing stone? Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
She'll realize soon enough that her little party tricks hardly make her worthy of such grave responsibilities.
That relic of Evelyn's the so-called healing crystal. I've seen one like it before, and by the Patriarch's pockets. It's a relic of source. One look at that gem will be enough to convince me it's no force of good, but a bloodstone through and through. I know I'm not the most, well, circumspect sort of source hunter, but in this case, I feel we ought to tread carefully. Bloodstone is so named for a reason, you see. What starts as a pretty gem is corrupted by 6 sorcerers who infuse it with the blood of the slain. If that stone is what I suspect, I wouldn't trust Sicile's so-called healers any more than I trust a pyromancer on a wooden boat.
Which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case.
Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long?
Which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case. Excuse me, this is a private sick room. Who in the name of the 7 do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. Oh, I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Seal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Seal is familiar with grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded. But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously. Don't dither long. These men are slipping ever closer toward the edge with each passing minute. Thank goodness the Source Hunter is here. I'm in desperate need of some insight.
Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long?
What do you think? Would you like to learn more about the patients before making a decision? What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to... Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him. Near you are? I thank you 1,000,000 times for your help. Who have you decided should receive the healing stone?
Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
There's no way Boris should receive that stone over Stephen. Think of Stephen's wife, his children, his grandchildren. If you'd like to kill Stephen, perhaps I'll let his family have at you when you deliver the news. I'll even loan his wife my favorite studded club.
Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long?
All right, we'll do it your way. Stephen, it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other. No, this is highly
thank you.
What is this? This lightning!
I feel no pleasure in bidding you farewell, friend.
Leave me.
didn't want to spend my final moments with the devil who snatched my life away from me. And I curse your every footstep.
Oh, my savior. I owe you everything, you know, everything. Well, I think my wife will just about faint. My son, a grown man, mind, will spring into my arms like he were a little boy, and my grandkids will ask what present I bought them. Oh, to see their smiling faces again. I'm giddy as a school kid. Goodbye, then, my hero. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond grateful. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond grateful.
Do you want me to beg? I'll beg then. Please, leave me alone. For the love of the seven, please. And I curse your every footstep.
I feel no pleasure in bidding you farewell, friend.
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the healing stone, I have no idea what to make of it. That strange reaction you caused, blue lightning from a healing stone, I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I begin to wonder if its magical properties survived your little reaction. I've been studying under Theliron for some time now, but that task, being asked to play the gods, was the first time I've ever questioned my, well, suitability for the work. I've a passion for this work, you see. A passion to see things put in order, from a flesh wound healed to an entire city made resistant to a fatal illness. What right has something as trivial as a wound or as senseless as an epidemic to take a human life?
Can't have gotten far.
Sorry, friend. I wish there were enough stones for both of us.
I know it's here somewhere. To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Another family restored, thanks to the healing arts. I'm glad to hear that Stephen will be returning to the comfortable life he's built. Thank you for your help in this matter. She's gotten hold of us, but she claims to have utter rubbish. Well, she's certainly... I expect she'll be a very...
I feel no...
If you think black sheep are weird...
So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king, the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm.
What's that nutter in the back hollering about? I can hardly hear the show for all the ruckus.
What's that nutter in the back hollering about? I can hardly hear the show for all the ruckus.
Who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself.
Don't ask me what the tale's about. I'm just here for the eye candy.
Did he crave creamy blues and
Don't ask me what the tale's about. I'm...
his realm.
Don't ask me what the...
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd.
Liberté, equality, and brotherhood for all will turn the wicked cleaver of decapitation upon you. Revolution is coming.
Oh, can't you hear the stage calling you?
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter. You're at Katerina's Fair, a veritable summer home for troubled minds. Won't you take a seat and let our esteemed entertainers whisk you off to a better place? Well, I'm Katerina the Fair, fairest first lady of the fair, of course. I do love making the acquaintance of my patrons, and who knows which of them might become one of my performers. I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the rank and file of the audience. The theatre's favor has overcome you, has it? Marvelous! I do so love a fresh green talent ready to bloom. But I support players, not writers, you see. If you want to perform here, you'll have to find tried and true material. Check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a Source Hunter's take on one of the old standards.
So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across...
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big... And who are you supposed to be? Oh, I should have been one of the greats. But here I am gathering peasants to watch peasants perform broadside pageants for peanuts. No, really? I hadn't noticed. If not for this ridiculous condition, you'd know me as the king's favorite thespian. Don't you have an impressive library here in Sicil? I'm sure that beast of a librarian could rustle something up for you.
I'll figure out who murdered Jake before the day's through. Just you wait. Detective Kip is on the case.
You there! Sit! Stay a while. Right in front. I'll excite you. I'll delight you. I'll beguile you. I'll besmile you. I'm Cedric the Sensational, and I'm playing to an empty audience. Don't pity me. No, sir. Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing, all-dancing, all-sensational darling of the town. People came from far and wide just to witness my amazing act. When Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head. Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that to be my main competition. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. This curio is ruining what used to be an art. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts 5 more, and those 5 more all curious about the commotion. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boots than I've in my crusty handkerchief. Ah, cruel fortune.
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, there stands the world-famous Reginald the Entertainer. Better check it out if you don't want to miss the time of your life. Oh, I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show I've ever seen. I'm amazed and astounded that for a meager gold coin or two, I can take in this first-rate entertainment all day long. Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice happens to carry pretty far. Cecile hears me. Cecile wants to see what the fuss is all about. And let me tell you, this amazing show just can't be beat.
Fantastic! I think a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow...
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, there...
He's said to have known Sigurd himself.
What's that nutter in the back?
A colour.
My
So
word.
ardently did he crave...
You there! Take a seat. Prepare to laugh your head off, cry your eyes out, and teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan, the talking severed head. I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andevale, this fantastical talking head. Catch the act while you can. This show will only remain in Cecile as long as there are Legion soldiers to entertain. Ha! Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored his audience to tears until they cried for a replacement. Enter Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boys in red happy, relaxed, and ready to fight. Not wasting their energies cringing at a fool with a depressed rabbit in a borrowed hat. Are you impressed by my prowess in the arts of entertainment? Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And that crowd warmer has increased my profits by 60%, simply by showing a little honest appreciation for our show. Why do I care what tall tales you've heard about Stefan's origins? Try to do something about it if you dare. The fair's full of legionnaires who love no better entertainment than cutting down a source hunter for stirring up trouble.
We can hardly walk off with a talking head in the middle of a crowded fair.
We'll just have to think of something more clever than daylight
Today,
robbery.
I think a king. The great Sigurd
Talking
and his
head?
rainbow war machine.
What dark sorcery is this?
It is said, and this I've heard from a
strange
person
fellow,
who
isn't he?
who knew him.
Hello,
Five
little
or
friend.
seven.
Oh, don't be afraid. What's your name?
Show all of them. Cecile, what you're made of. Ah, a familiar face. Come, watch the show. I promise it'll take your mind off beheading baddies, or whatever it is you do with all those muscles. I, a person whose sole job is to praise the performance and stir a crowd. A genius invention. No wonder Reginald has had such success. I knew his act couldn't have outshone mine on its merits alone. Please, you must hire him for me. Imagine the scowl on that conman's face when my rightful audience returns to me. A must-see event. Don't pity me when
I've just got back from the realm of fairy. It was lovely, but I should have brought my winter boots.
It is said, and this I have heard from a
By
ghost who
the
knew
Seth,
Elba.
what are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. Well, I don't see why I should. Reginald and I have grown rather friendly, you know? And in any case, it'll be hard to pull myself away from this fantastic show.
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst of colour.
Fantastic!
So did he crave creamy blues and gory heads that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king.
My word.
The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Fantastic!
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that...
Well, I guess it's been long enough since I've stretched my wings a bit, and it ain't so far of a flight now, is it? Maybe I will have a peek at what Cedric's up to over there.
One, come all, and see the amazing singing Stefan! Slightly deadly, sentient, severed
Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you? You there! You look like an
This
actor
is
just
the
waiting for his
finest
big
show
debut.
in the land!
Oh, that Gallagher is quite the performer. Oh, just like old times. The rush, the thrill. What a delight. Please stay and enjoy the show, though you may have some trouble finding a seat.
Cedric's show is a doozy! Woo!
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Sightseeing, what's made of.
What? Where is everyone trotting off to? Don't they want to hear how the story ends?
Strange! You appear to be my only client. Did the whole of Sicil eat some bad chicken, or what? I knew that fool could never have garnered so much as a guffaw on his own merits. I'll see to this matter immediately.
What? Where is everyone trotting off to? Don't they want to hear how the story ends? Doesn't anyone care about the oldest dragon knight of Rivellon and his machines of rainbow ribbon? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti... Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will have to wait until the end. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sicil. My audience sings my praises from hill and dale. Psst. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven. Look, you've got to help me. I've been kidnapped. Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, now help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it, then.
This is the finest show in the land!
All right!
This is the finest show
It's
in the
all
land!
over now. Without my clients, I'll starve. I'll be thrown into the cold. I'll have to sell my favorite silk underthings just to pay for firewood. This inbred fool of a monkey has ruined me! Don't speak that name in my presence. I'm certain he's either bewitched or bribed my crowd away from me. There's an old saying in show business. If your benches are empty once, they'll be empty forever. Who am I without a swelling crowd calling bravo? I am no one.
Finest show in the land!
Oh, that Gallagher is quite the...
Alright. Hey, it's you again! I don't have to tell you that Cedric's act will help you banish belly fat and inspire your kids to say no to drugs.
Can't you hear the stage calling you?
The illusionist!
Come, I've a sordid tale for you, Source Hunter. Ah. My true name is Nick. In life, I was an entertainer aboard the ship of the famed Pontius Pirate. I once dared to defy him, and he savagely beheaded me for the attempt. Little did I know the abuse was only beginning. A wandering sorcerer, mad as the day is long, found my severed head on the beach and resurrected me. I spent months in his company listening to him blather on about his every inane opinion. When I asked him to return my head to my body, it must be in the Black Cove still, he became enraged and tossed my head into the sea. Reginald stumbled upon me some days later and consigned me into his horrid little show. I know not how long I've been entertaining slack-jawed imbeciles at the Sicil Fair. All I know is I just can't take it anymore. More than anything. But the chances are so slim with the Black Cove utterly infested with Pontius's undead cronies. My poor lost body is among them, sightless and silent in their vile company. For all I know, they're using it as a coat rack. Traveller, if there were any way you would brave the cove's depths and reunite me with myself, you'd be doing me the only kindness I'd have received in as long as my poor memory serves. That charlatan doesn't have a lick of his own talent, so he begs, borrows and beats it from those of us with a real vision for the stage. What I wouldn't give to give old Reggie a swift kick in the jugglers. Oh, to have legs again. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it then.